right, so we are streaming now. Yep, okay.
I'm gonna put my camera back up here. Kind of crooked.
All right, so we are there. So yes, anybody who's watching, thank you so much for joining us. We are with Jan over here, showing us a stitch that I don't know, which I'm pretty excited to watch.
Anyone going to talk some more?
Beautiful day out there.
Are we on?
We are on, yes. Yep. Once again, I still don't have any beads, so I'm not going to be beading along, but I'm crafting along. So I'm excited to learn.
Maria tried to teach me back around December. It was such a busy time. I just never really got to go and try it. So I've got a good start from her on this stitch. So.
All right. So we're gonna go around, waiting for you to take the lead, library people.
Well, I I guess just a quick introduction. I'm Bethany. I'm one of the librarians at the Verna Fowler Academic Library and Menominee Public Library, and I'm joined with some other ladies today. And this is our Breathe and Bead program, in which we learn different beading techniques, and just a time to take a breath and relax and learn new skills, or just keep going on some projects that we're already working on. Let everybody else introduce themselves if they like.
Well, I'm Janice. I'm going to be sharing what I know about the peyote stitch, tubular peyote stitch. I've got some samples set up, and I'll show you how to start it and what it looks like. And I won't show you how to finish it because I really don't have any project that's finished up. But you know, if once you get into the beading process, you kind of figure out how to end things. But you know, asking or showing, you know, someone will show you or watch videos or whatever. But pretty easy. Peyote stitch is one bead at a time stitch. It takes a while. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys.
Well, thank you, Janice, for partnering with us on this program. So this is a partnership between Menominee Family Services and the library. We've been offering the Breathe and Bead for a few months now. And usually we meet in the makerspace where there's supplies that people can use if they don't have their own supplies, or you can bring your own. So we look forward to the day when we can meet back in that space and have all that available to you. But for now, we'll do what we have available to us in our homes.
I'm joining in. I'm working on my own little peyote project. Very, very small beginnings. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I think it'll be great for you, Janice, to share what you know.
Okay. I'm noticing that my phone really fuzzy or really blurry, so I'm wondering It just looks so different now that we're on the screen. It's like, huh, it looks so
Well, I'm going to switch to speaker view so that I can see what's on your screen bigger, Janice.
Is it real blurry? Is it focusing okay?
Well, so actually what comes up is the screen where you're talking. So I wonder, Bethany, you said we could pin.
Yeah, so on Facebook, it's going to be pinned the stitching hands of Janice.
Okay.
So
Oh yeah, got it. Okay.
so depending on if you guys are watching it on Zoom, you can pin the video that you want to see big if you'd like. And that's just if you just hover in the right-hand corner of the videos, there's that option.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So we will get going. So I have a few different projects started using different materials when it comes to doing a peyote stitch. I've also been using different styles of beads, and they're all number 11 seed beads. And the circumferences are different on the samples I'm showing you, but I wanted to give you an idea of what I'm working on and what it looks like. So this is, it looks like a choker cord kind of thing. It's a jewelry thing that I found, packages of 3 at, I think it was Michael's. And I thought, well, this would be really cool to bead a peyote stitch around that. So it's just, like I said, choker style. I'll put it up on the other screen so you can see what it looks like. It's really short and it's gonna go around the neck like that. And
So I just want to clarify on the Facebook page, we were having some issues technically, so I can't pin the video on Facebook. I just realized that. And your voice is coming through on your face video, not your hands video. So I can't, that's not your speaker view is going to be showing your face, not the hands. So I'm going to have to keep it in gallery view, just so you know.
Okay.
I can switch. I can leave the meeting and then come back with no audio on the iPad, this one, and then audio on my phone.
That would work, yeah.
So I'll have to leave both.
Okay, so bear with us as we figure all of this out.
No worries. All right, I will leave the meeting.
All right.
Well, this is a time I can invite people to the Art Underground that we'll have tomorrow. We have a Zoom meetup. We don't live stream it on Facebook, and that way the Art Underground is designed for, and it's again a program that we host with Family Services. But we just want it to be a time when young artists, teens, tweens, kind of that age group, can come together and enjoy some art together, but not have the pressure of it being live streamed. So we don't live stream that, but you are welcome if you know a young artist that would like to join us for that. We'd be happy to send the invite. So all they have to do is click on that invite, that link, and it'll take you right to the Facebook page. I'm sorry, not the Facebook page, the Zoom meeting. So just send us an email at library@menominee.edu or message us on our CMN Library Facebook page. And that way we will get you the information. So it's Art Underground every Thursday at 4:00. Little public announcement there.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we got it.
Yay, good one.
So the video that's with my hands will be the one that you guys can enlarge and you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so going back to my necklace, this is the necklace that I started. Like so. And I'm going with a real simple design on this one because I originally started this when I was listening to, I was at a meeting and listening, and I always like to keep my hands busy. So I always use a simple design so I can just not concentrate so much. And then this is the start of the keychain. I didn't cut the fringes yet because I'll do that last. They just get in the way. So in the meantime, I'll leave it as is. It's a wrapped around piece of wooden dowel. I don't know if you can see inside. You can't. But I wrapped leather around the dowel and have about 5-6 inches on the end. And then I do my peyote stitch around the edges. So that's what this looks like. It's hard to see because it's blurry, isn't it? I don't think I'm gonna be able to do any up close work. All right, so that's what that looks like. And then I also have another choker piece that I started. Same thing, only a different color. And these are really pretty colors.
Yeah.
And then this is something that you can buy. I forget what it's called. Is it like jute or something for weaving?
Yeah, just kind of a rope-ish, kind of like rope.
Yeah, but it's real lightweight, fiberish. It looks almost like paper raffia, but it's thicker.
I think it's paracord or clothesline.
No, it's got, if you look here, if you can see that, it's fuzzy. It's got like a net around it, and then inside it's like raffia. See, it's like papery.
Oh, yeah. I forget what they call that.
It's real lightweight. It's for basket making, I believe.
Oh.
So anyway, I picked some of this up because I thought, oh, it would be cool to maybe make some lanyards with this or something like that. So I cut a piece off to show you guys how to start your peyote beading. I would use this already, but I've already started a piece, so I can't show you. And same with the keychain. I've started that already, so I can't show you how to start it. I would go on the other end of one of these, but this is like plastic and it's really thick and hard to get in. So I had a hard time starting it. So I don't want to get you guys too frustrated with starting on something, this type of material, because it's so difficult. So that's why I thought, well, I'll just use this real soft, bigger circumference piece of cording to show you how to start your peyote stitch. So again, I'm using number 11 needle, number 11 beads, number 12 seed beads. Let me say that again. Number 11 beads, seed beads, and number 12 needle, and then B thread, which is my normal. And I'm only going to do a small piece of thread here to show you. When I bead, I usually like to, like I said before, I like to have a long thread, so I'm not always having to add new thread. So I like to have a tail when I make my knot on the end. Reason being is because, as I said before, I like to hide the tail. I like to make sure I have enough thread on the end so I can go back through and hide it and not have little schnibbly tails hanging out or something like that. So I'm going to knot it, make a pretty good knot because you don't want it to pull through your cord or whatever it is that you're beading on, because it needs to be a pretty fat knot. And I'm gonna show you some diagrams of something I pulled up online, and I'll share them with you guys in the comments below this video once it's posted. Oh, this lanyard I also have that I started making things on too. It's a regular lanyard with a hook on it. Goes around your neck. You see people wearing them. I'll model it up here. This is what I learned on the first time I made peyote stitch. It's very small, and if you're working on peyote the first time, it gets a little frustrated right in the beginning because it's hard to keep your beads lined up and everything. So this is another little piece that I hesitated to show you how to start on it because it's so small. So I'll show you the others using this cord. But anyway, I'm going to be doing the peyote stitch that is tubular. So when you look at this diagram, that's how you start it. You know, you tie the knot, you put on your beads, you come around a circle, and then you go through that last bead so you're hooking up the choo-choo train. And then the second diagram shows once you got around your whole tubular piece, that's how you go start your second layer, your second row. So the second row are the darker beads. First row are the lighter beads. So the beads will start out straight at first. And once you start beading, you're going to start getting that brick stitch look. So your beads, your first row are going to start going up, down, once you get that second row started. And this diagram shows the second row started already and going into the third. And this sample I'll show you is using an even number of beads. You can use even or odd. Odd number of beads will have you working in a spiral way, and even number of beads have you going in a row to row way. So this is another thing I pulled up. It's another diagram on tubular peyote and what it looks like once you get going. So look at each row, and then see that red arrow on top? That's the beginning of the next row. So you're coming up through the row you just did in order to start the next row, if that makes sense. Again, I'll be posting these on the comments page so you have them, and there's a little explanation on the bottom. I don't remember where I pulled this up from, but it's a nice little diagram. And then another piece I pulled up is some basic stitches. It shows you the flat peyote stitch. We won't be doing flats. It will show you the tubular. So that I'll be putting up on the comments as well. So, okay, anyway, I am going to, this is really coming apart. When you start your peyote stitch, you want to just go through whatever you're working on. I'm going to go all the way through just because this is a paper tube. Sometimes you might be able to just go through a little bit of it, which is fine. I mean, whatever you can do to get through it just to get started. And then you want to put as many beads as you can that will fit around the circumference of your piece you're beading around. So I'm going to do, let's see, this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's try 16. Ooh, almost, good guess. Now what's going to happen is your beads are going to be, is that blurry? It's pretty blurry, isn't it? Your beads are going to not totally connect, and that's what you want. You want to have a little bit of space in there, because once you start your second row, they're going to start pushing and moving around, and you need that movement and that space. So wrap it around and then put your needle through that first bead you put on to connect the circle. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it this way because this is how I want to work it. I want to go from the bottom and I want to be working up. You can go left to right or right to left, whatever you prefer. I prefer to go, well, I guess it doesn't really much matter. But I'm going to start with a different color bead in order to show you the difference so you can see it better. We'll have 2 different rows, 2 different colors. And like I said, you're going to go 1 bead at a time. So you're going to pick up your first bead. And you're going to skip over a bead and go through the next bead. So I'm skipping over a bead and go through the next bead. And that's it. That's basically all you're doing. And you want to pull it tight, and this is where it starts moving on you, and you gotta readjust as you go. After the second row, it falls into place better. And pick up another bead, skip a bead, and go through the next bead. And you're going to start seeing the little brick pattern that shows up. Can you see that? And then you just keep going all the way around. And then when you get to the end, you're not going to have any bead to go through because all of your bricks are going to be lined up. So, Maria, have you come across any good tips for starting, or any materials you've used to bead around that work better than others? Like, I'm finding this white thing is not a very good thing to work on.
I bought some paracord that was like a thinner kind, and that's a lot easier than buying the lanyard already assembled.
Yeah.
But the short projects that I like are being around the carabiners, and then the Blistex, or the Carmex, or whatever you like to use on your lips. Those are fun. So
Oh,
like these little things, Janice,
yeah.
those are nice, fast projects, and they make good gifts.
Yeah. Do you put anything around those, like leather or anything?
No, I haven't.
How do you get it?
Well, like with the carabiners, I think it'd be hard to get around it because it's got that the side is closed. But I haven't done it with the chopstick stuff either.
How do you get I'm getting rid of this thread on here. This is really messed up. How do you get your beads not to move around and slide around on that metal piece when you're working on it? I mean, does that happen? Is it a problem?
No, it helps to get around it. You just keep spinning it. If it's you got to get the right carabiner. If it's round, you can just keep spinning it, and then you're always able to get around the design.
Okay.
So that part's good.
All right, I'll have to try that because I've made them before, but I've only ever done it with leather around it first. Just because when I look at some that are made, they look extra thick around there. I say, wow, those beads must be really thick. But I think what happens is they wrap a thin piece of leather around it first. So I did that and it seemed to work okay.
Oh yeah. I think that would frustrate me because I don't know how well you spin it. Is it just stuck and you just have to keep moving the carabiner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain part where you got to kind of maneuver it through and then come back around again.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what they were called.
Yeah.
Now I know. You learn
Yeah.
something new every day.
Yeah, you can't find them locally. I had to buy them on Amazon.
I don't know where I picked mine up. I think I was able to find something at Walmart in
By camping
either
or
the car
something?
section or a camping section.
Yeah, they were more expensive in that section than online.
I think I have seen some small.
So I am at the last one. I have my bead on, and I'm going to skip a bead and come through. And that's going to finish up my second row. Like so. And now I got to come up through that second row, which is the brown bead, to start my third row. And you're in the right spot where you want to begin again. So now you see the gaps in between. It's really hard to see. Can you guys see that? There's gaps in between, like a brick stitch. So now you know that the next row, the third row, each bead is going to go inside that gap. So it's going to form like a brick wall. And you just keep going. And that's all there is to it.
Well, do you want to talk about your pattern choices or the things you can make with it, Janice?
Well, you can make any kind of patterns. Depending on how many beads you have around. If you want to make a diamond, you know, you just, each time you go around, you widen that pattern, and then further up you get, you narrow it. It's hard to explain by not having a piece. I just went around and around on this one.
Okay. So last bit, I finished up one of my chapstick things. I don't know if I like the colors, but see, this pattern is kind of like, I think of it as just being like a simple V. So you start, I usually try and make it so that it's even, and I'll get like every fifth one, they'll have the color. And then you just kind of make it out like a V, and then it connects. And so it's just kind of like a little wave.
Okay.
So, you know, like that kind of pattern, but it's big enough, it's fat enough, you can see a design. And when you get the skinny lanyards, it's harder. Then you're just using like color choices. Kinds of colors.
Yeah.
So it's just a choice, but there's different, I think it's harder to visualize. I mean, the people that do flat work, they can see different things. And if you're doing a peyote, it's like thinking of how your pattern is going to come out in a circle.
Right. And the pattern evenly, like if you have diamonds, see if I can draw something here. If you have diamonds in a circle, you know, you're going to have one diamond on this side, and then, you know, you're going to skip a bead, and you're going to have another diamond, and then you skip a bead, and then you start your third diamond, and it's like, oh my God, my other diamond is right here already. You know, you're back over to here again because you're going in the circle. So depending on your circumference of your work, you might be able to fit in an even number of diamonds, like 3 diamonds around or 4 diamonds around. But sometimes you have to consider the number of beads you have and the circumference of it in order to fit the pattern in there, if that makes sense. It's hard to plan. I've never used a pattern before on the you know, these graph sheets. I've never used them before for peyote stitch. I've always just used them for brick stitch because it's flat for me, but the tubular peyote would seem harder to figure out a design. And then do you use even number or odd number beads? Maria?
I was shown how to do it on the odd number, but yeah, so it's kind of hard for me to get the evens, but I once in a while I'm like I try it because it, you know, like you have too much of a gap with the
Yeah.
odd number, so you have to go to an even,
Yeah,
especially
and
with
then
the thinner ones.
the odd number makes you spiral, right? You don't finish a row and then move up and then do the next row, right?
Yeah, you just keep going around. There's
just
just
keep
always
going around.
little, it's very visual. You can see there's a little space and you go in between the space. A couple
Yeah.
times I've made a mistake and I've gone up too far. Instead of just going into one bead, I go into two and then it doesn't lay right. I'm like, wait, then you have to pull it out and try again.
Yeah. It's fun. It's relaxing.
It is. It's easier if you're not counting. Like if you're trying to get like 20 purple, 20 green, and you're like, wait a minute, then you stop and count again.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I like to do just sections or strips or something like this, because I don't have to concentrate so much. So what are you working on, Laura? You have to turn your sound on.
Thank you. Maria got me started. I'm figuring out where to pick back up. And
And
not
so you must be doing the spiral. You're probably
Yeah.
on odd number.
I think it is an odd number. Yeah. But, and I can kind of see the roll, you know, where the spiral rolls are, but when I add a bead and skip, it doesn't lay right. So I'm not sure.
Well, you wouldn't be skipping anymore after the first row.
Oh,
You
okay.
just fill the bead in where that space is.
Oh, okay. That's my problem. Okay.
Yeah, it is kind of skipping actually, but that's why I use the term skip on that first row, because that you literally have to skip over a bead, because your first row is a straight line.
Yeah.
Once you skip over the bead and put that in, that second row will push that first row down. So you have a up, down, up, down.
Right.
And that's where, and then once that started, like this is the second row. So I got my second row in, my first row, second row, and now I've got all those little openings, and that I know automatically that's where my bead is going to go in now every time I put a new bead on.
Okay. Okay. So then I'm just going to the next bead. I'm not skipping then.
Right, right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
try that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And then I noticed that on this sample I did here, these are Delica style beads. They're tubular. So working with this style of bead in a circular peyote piece, they fit really nice as well. I like the look of it, and it just kind of looks like they just like lock together. I just love the way that looks and the way that feels when I use them.
So that's different than the seed beads.
Well, I guess they're called seed beads, but they're the Delica style. I don't know why I don't know where the term seed bead comes from. I think just because they're all the smaller, intricate work beads versus the big jewelry beads that you see. So I think they're all considered seed beads, but they're different styles. Like this would be on this pattern, I'm using the round seed beads, and on this I'm using the Delica seed beads. They're tubular and more squarish.
The Delica, aren't those like very uniform? Like,
yes, those are the ones that are really uniform, and they're tubular really, because the regular round seed beads are more rounded. Let me draw you a diagram. That's how I always do my art classes. I have to have a demonstration. So the delicas will be just like that. It's
Okay.
there are two, right? So the bottom would look like that. So you put your thread in, and then the round seed beads kind of look like that.
Oh,
So you put your thread in there.
okay.
So they've got the round sides.
Well, and the thing
Um,
about the seed beads too, they can be different levels of fatness. And I think your delicas aren't they usually about the same?
Right. And I think I mentioned that one time when if you bead a lot, you will get finicky about picking up the correct size bead. Even though you may have all size 11s or whatever you're working with, when you're picking them up and placing them into your work, you can actually see there is a little bit of difference in sizes and irregularities. And I've done it. I've taken it back off my needle and found one that was a little bit smaller because it fit that space much better. And a lot of the really good beaders, if you see some of their work up close, and you'll see the uniformity and how beautiful everything lines up. That's probably what they're doing too, is they're looking for those just right sizes, even though they're working with one size. So that's what that's all about. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have. One thing that I wanted to mention was that when you bead, make sure that you are always patient and always have good thoughts. Don't get frustrated. If you need to walk away, put it away and bring it out another time, because everything you put into your work, or everything you have that you put into your work will go into that work. And if you're giving it as a gift to someone or something, you don't want to give those negative energies to that person that you're giving the gift to. So next week, I was going to show a little bit about how to do brick stitch earrings. And it's similar to the peyote stitch, where the beads will be looking like they're going up and down, like they're fitting up and down. I'll show you a diagram of some earrings that I'm working on right now. So this is colored in. So I don't know if you can see. Well, this really doesn't show very well the brick style, but it's pretty much up and down, just like here. Well, yeah, it does show the brick style. This is a good sample right here. Just like the peyote stitch. So this is the earrings that I'm working on now. I would not suggest you working on these to begin with if you have never done it before, because this is a much more intricate design. These are earrings. They're kind of big. I saw the pattern on Facebook. Oh, they're not too big, are they? Someone had posted something and I thought, wow, this is a beautiful design. So I looked it up online and was able to find it and do the diagram. So I'm almost done with the second one. I'm working from the top down.
Wow.
And so that will be, I can't find my earrings. Oh, here they are. No, that's not them. I can't find my brick earrings, but let's show you for sample, but I'll show you the next time we get together so I can show you how to start some simple ones. Nothing real complicated.
So Janice, that would be 2 weeks. We're doing this every other week. So
Yeah,
it would be
next
2 weeks from now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. All right. So that's all I have. You guys have anything else you want to add or anything you want to talk about yet, or should we wrap it up?
All right.
This is really cool. I've never I've always seen like the stitches and I've heard of peyote stitch all the time, but to actually see how it actually works is really cool. So thank you, Janice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Like I
was beautiful.
said, it's really easy, and I knew this session wasn't going to take very long because it's just one, put it around the circle, join the circle, and then start stitching one bead at a time, every other bead, and just keep going around.
Yeah, thank you, Janice.
Thanks, Janice.
You're welcome. I hope to see everyone and a few more people in the coming next couple of weeks.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.